Our next speaker is Ms. Nikki Phinyapincha, founder, TransTalents Consulting Group. She will share her perspective on importance of creating opportunities and promoting equality for the LGBTQI+ community. Welcome.
Wow. I think the future generation, like kids out there, would love to help us ring the bell. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me just take a deep breath and memorize this moment together. I never dared to think that I would live to see this happening in Thailand and in Asia. Not because I lack of ambition, but because some part of me was taught very early that rooms like this one would never, ever thought and include us, LGBT people, or transgender women like me, not only in this room, but also to come up on the stage and give a speech for this historic moment of Thailand. Nobody handed any of us a head start, but we built from a deficit. And I think every one of you who are our LGBT community have faced that lived experience from starting from not zero, but minus. But I really mean it in a deficit, every sense of that word. But we are still here. Big applause to all of you. Because in a few minutes, we're gonna ring the bells. That's just not about the symbolic event that we are having here, but you will be part of this room where the Asia capital market, making the history, her story, and we story together. And you will be able to say, I was there. And here, why this today matters. The global LGBT economy is worth $4.7 trillion. That makes it the third largest world economy after the US and China. 9 times the size of Thailand GDP, entire GDP. But if you don't know about GDP, well, you can Google it or use ChatGPT to help you or whatever. But yet, for decades, the number of the LGBT productivity, economy, revenue that they make alongside of this nation that has built this nation wealth and GDP have never been talked, have never been counted, has never been measured. And what we talk about LGBT, we talk about what we buy. We talk about how these LGBT people holding the hand shopping bag. We talk about how they spend higher in the luxury hotels or waiting to be marketed to. But nobody talk about what we have built alongside with you. So we are in your factories. We are in your supply chains. We are on the street that you pass by, either informal or formal sector economy, from the informal labor sector into the boardroom. All of us has been there, no matter what sector or what context. We have all been part of this engine that moves capitals, move goods, move the countries, move the region and the world economy forward. We have just never been officially counted yet, and never measured and never integrated into the system. We were already powering it. So this is not a charity of what we are doing now. It is not a corporate CSR activity. It is a market failure and a market inefficiency that we need to fix it. I'm so proud that the Stock Exchange of Thailand and the capital market sees today and fixing it now together. So this is why the question can no longer be whether to include us, but how to integrate us in the system, into the infrastructure of how to make inclusion measurable. Either you integrate it as your the ESG disclosure in the boardroom, in your supply chains, into the way that you design and measure your own success the country's success, and the region's success. So not inclusion, integration. As of today, Thailand has something that no other country in Asia would have and would do. A stock exchange that willing to rings the equality bell for the first time in the history of the country and the region. I did not build this real story alone. I want to name the people who stood here with me. First, the UN Human Rights, to the UN Stock Exchange Initiative, to the UN Global Compact, to the Open for Business, and to COPPA, the LGBTI plus Economic Power Lab, who believed in me from day one, when it was just an idea from me, a crazy idea of how I could bring this global campaign coming to Thailand for the first time, to the Stock Exchange of Thailand, the UNDP Thailand, the UN Global Compact Network Thailand, and to Deutsche Bank, and to the Prize Show, and to all supporters, my sister, who always connect the dots and bridging, the gate for me, to make this possible alongside with me on this journey. Thank you for being brave and visionary enough to be the first in this region. And to every person in this room who has ever been told to wait, to be quieter, to be smaller, this bell is ringing for you. The work of architecting a fairer and a better inclusive economy cannot wait anymore. So today, we ring the equality bell so that the next generation after us doesn't have to ask for one. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nikki Phinyapincha, for sharing your perspective on the importance of creating opportunity and advancing equality for the LGBT.
5, 4,